Hello users, and welcome to another episodic installation of Above It All. Welcome everybody to today's programming. You may hear noises in the background. Somebody is tending to a garden, and it is really loud, and I don't know if it gets into the microphone. I'm not sure. But speaking of things that are vastly actually more important and more entertaining and more interesting than somebody doing the garden, Steven Crowder, who the Arthur voice actor himself, if you violently attack a non-violent civilian, you forfeit your right to live. Period. Now, I like this tweet, and the reason I'm making a video about it is because I'm curious how Steven Crowder fans are going to react. And I know that this guy has got a lot of people that constantly search his name on YouTube and filter by new, and then just go harass anybody that uploads videos about him. Same with Dave Rubin and Ben Shapiro and Tim Pool and stuff. This guy's got a bunch of an army of 13-year-olds. And I actually think this is a tweet I agree with. Change my mind, as they say. This is what I have been saying. If you take it upon yourself to end someone else's life or attack someone else and alter their life, for example, a journalist was shot in the face with a rubber bullet, and now as a result, she no longer has one of her eyeballs. She is going to have to live the rest of her life with one out of two eyes, and every time she tells that story, she's going to have to say that the cops did it, and people are going to not believe her, and I know that that's going to be a thing that she's going to have to deal with. After cops attacked me, I still have people say, nope, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. Your life story, your traumatic life experience did not happen. I am smart. I know exactly everything. There are people out there that are going to do that, and that's where it really gets annoying. But again, why should a police officer be allowed to shoot and blind somebody and just get away with it? Why is that a thing? Why is that a thing? As far as I'm concerned, this should, hey, Steven Crowder is saying this, right? So if he can say that, then I can say it, right? All cops, by nature of being cops, are violent. If you swear on the Bible to uphold the law, and the law says that black people are bad, then you are, by definition, upholding that system, right? Now, again, these laws aren't written in such a way that it's oh yes, you must target the black. It's the culture of these police departments, specifically in New York. Look at Mike Bloomberg's legacy of stop and frisk on the New York Police Department, and how they terrorized their own civilians for years and years and years. And of course, the documents and these cops are trained to profile people based on their skin color, based on what they're wearing, on all that kind of stuff. So no, it does not need to say that black people are terrible and you need to go after them in the rule books for that to be the practical, real-world effect of these laws and of this legislation. I will also take marijuana into account. If you send someone to prison for multiple years because they smoked a blunt on their front porch, that is violence. That is forever changing, presumably for the worse, that person's life forever. They will never get those years of their lives back while you just go fucking jerk your dick off. And also, there's cops that smoke weed and arrest people for weed. That shit is just ridiculous. If you inflict violence on others, you should no longer be allowed to participate in society. This is where we came up with prisons in the first place. Again, I don't know if you can hear these noises outside. I'll find out when I'm checking the video before I upload it, but I'm not going to do anything about it, so it doesn't matter. But if someone steals from somebody, if someone mugs somebody on the street, takes their wallet, pushes them into the ground, chances are if they were caught, they would go to jail. So when police officers go to protesters, steal their purses, steal their phones, steal their wallets, and then arrest them and let them go but not give their phones back, I've heard reports that phones are literally being systematically destroyed in a lot of police departments because they contain evidence of police brutality that people are recording. So at that point, you forfeit your right to at least participate in society. This is the whole reason we have prisons. But instead of putting the actual dangerous criminals in prison, we're putting fucking innocent black people and some white people as well for smoking blunts on their fucking front porch. This is the kind of shit that we're using these fucking disgusting fucking prisons for. I am a prison abolitionist. I do not like prisons whatsoever. But I mean, if we're going to have prisons, like if we are going to operate in a society that has prisons, right? Why are the cops not at least in prison? I don't know. And so I think it's super interesting that Steven Crowder, of all people, is coming out here and going above and beyond. Like, I agree with this. I even hesitate to say this in a YouTube video just because, you know, but, you know, I'm just saying, like, if you take it incumbent upon yourself to attack someone who is an innocent, like, protester, they are not, like, it's not like they're protesting over something partisan. Police brutality affects everybody. They are protesting for everybody's rights, right? So it's like, if you do that, if you just go after these people, you're a freak. Like that's the thing, is like, these cops are, not only are they terrible people, they're just like freaks. Like, you know, like these people that like just like have these really bizarre fetishes, and then like, you know, like you talk to them on like text messages and they get really cringy after like 3 or 4 replies. Those are the people that cops are. They're fucking freaks, dude. They're like a bunch of fucking like bizarre fucking like stormtrooper like wannabes, and it's just really cringy, man. Like it's like, on top of being morally repugnant and reprehensible, they're just cringy. Like police, like there's this one video of a cop like going like like loading his gun like, I'm a like, that guy is a fucking freak, and yet apparently he's still on the force. I don't know, but it's just like, there are all these videos of these cops doing this bizarre, freakish stuff, and it's like really weird. It's like, you'd think, you know, if this guy were not a police officer, they would have learned that being an open freak in society is probably a bad thing. Like, I don't know, it's just weird, and I'm glad that Steven Crowder's on the right page here. I think he's always on the right page. Haha, I love puns, but he's on the correct page in this instance, and changed my mind. Steven Crowder fans, I agree with Steven Crowder. Changed my mind.